Do you need Bhagavad-gita?
No, I am this, yes. There we keep it. For the verses you have to recite. Keep it in the front. On the bit. Ready, no? Okay. Later. Yes. Hare Krishna. Yes. Yeah. Everyone knows Jai Radha Madhav lyrics? Yeah, those of you. Oh, it's already there here. If you don't know, please look at it. Jaya Radha Madhav Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Radha Madhav Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Tiravana Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada Jaya Srila Prabhupada Jaya Gurudev Jaya Gurudev Jaya 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 Gurudev Jaya Gurudev Jaya you all for coming and attending this Cleveland Sunday Feast program. I'm going to Columbus again. Thank you, Prabhu, for giving the opportunity to speak something that I know of. I know I'm not qualified. There are more senior people here and more qualified. They sacrificed more things for the moment. I take this an opportunity and speak whatever the little bit that I know. Please forgive me if I commit any mistakes, and I would like to beg forgiveness before itself. Yes. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Shah He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So today we are discussing on the slokas, Bhagavad-gita 18th chapter, slokas numbers from 49 to 55. This chapter, this section, we call it as a perfection of the Gnana Yoga. So we all know, this entire 18th chapter is a summary of all the 17 chapters which are already completed. So far, until 48 sloka, Krishna explained about the Karma Yoga, how to get perfected in the Karma Yoga process. And the next section, like 49 to 55 slokas, this is about the Gnana Yoga and how to get the perfection in the Gnana Yoga process. In the last section, Krishna is talking about Bhakti Yoga and how to get perfection in the Bhakti Yoga process. So this is the slokas. We'll just recite the slokas, translation, and we'll read the purports as well, Prabhu. Okay, sure. So we can start with 49 shloka. Asakta buddhi sarvatra jitatma vigatastroha naishkarmya siddhim paramam sanyasenadi gacchati. Translation?
One who is self-controlled and unattached and who disregards all material enjoyments can obtain the practice of renunciation, the highest perfect stage of freedom from reaction.
Yes. Little purport is? Yes. Yes, go ahead. Yes.
Okay. Real renunciation means that one should always think himself pardon personal distributing words and therefore think He has no right to enjoy the results of his work. Since he is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, the results of his work must be enjoyed by the Supreme Lord. This is actually Krishna consciousness. The person acting in Krishna consciousness is generally a sannyasi, one in the renounced order of life. By such a mentality, one is satisfied because he is actually acting for the Supreme. Thus, he is not attached to anything material. He becomes accustomed to not take pleasure in anything beyond the transcendental happiness derived from the service of the sannyasi is supposed to be free from the reactions of his past actions. But a person within Krishna consciousness automatically attains this perfection without even accepting the so-called order of renunciation. The state of mind is called yoga linda, or the perfection state of yoga, as confirmed in the third chapter. Yasto atma ratir evashya. One who is satisfied in himself has no fear of any kind of reaction from his activity.
You want the next sloka? So we'll discover the sloka, then we'll go on to the next sloka, bro. Is it fine? Okay, sure. So this entire section, we call it as how to reach the Brahma Bhuta stage, where we'll get the perfection of the Bhakti Yoga, Gnana Yoga process. And we all know the yogis, they want to merge into the Brahman effulgence. That's the effulgence which is coming out of the Lord Krishna's body. That's what they want to merge into that one. So if you think about this Brahmabhuta platform, we are in the material platform right now because we are doing all the material activities and everything. So to reach Brahmabhuta platform means, so we are in the negative axis now. So if you take in the math, like we have a zero and x-axis and a y-axis, negative and plus axis, right? So we're in the material world right now. When you're progressing in this bhakti path, we'll reach the Brahmabhuta platform. All the yogis, they want to reach that Brahmabhuta platform and they want to settle there only. But for the bhaktas, there is one more platform on top of the Brahmabhuta platform, that's called the spiritual platform. That's where Lord Krishna lives, and that's called the Lord Krishna's abode. It's called Goloka Vrindavan. So all the activities, whatever we are doing in this world, similar activities will be doing in the Krishna's world, in the spiritual world as well. But there we do it for Krishna, and but in the material world we are doing it for the ourselves here. So in this shloka, basically what it is saying is, one who is self-controlled and unattached to, and who disregards all material enjoyments can obtain by practice of renunciation the highest perfect stage of freedom from the reaction. So in this sloka, if you look at the purport, what is Krishna consciousness? We're all following Krishna consciousness, but what is that means really? That's what the Prabhupada is explaining in this purport. Real renunciation means that one should always think himself as a part and parcel of the Lord. As yesterday, Patit Pavan Prabhu is already gave a prelude for all these shlokas we are discussing now already. So it clearly mentioned that we have to think ourselves as the part and parcel of the Lord. Now we are detached from the Lord. We want to again connect back to the Lord. Then we'll become full completely that time. Right now we are not the part of the Lord now itself. So when we think that he has no right to enjoy the results of his work. So if you take an example of a owner of a restaurant, there are many workers work in the restaurant, but they are not entitled for them whatever the money they are going to collect in the cash counter, basically the reception, right? So many people customers will come and they will pay the money for him, but he has so much money in front of him, but he cannot take anything out of even a dollar or penny also cannot take from him. Prabhupada always says, no, at the end of the day, the owner of the company will come and he'll collect all the money and he'll go from there. So that's what, our process also here, we are also thinking like that. That's what it is, all the results, all the work, whatever we are doing, we have to offer as a service to Lord Krishna. That's what the real renunciation means. That's what the actual Krishna conscious means. So that's what the Brahmabhuta platform means. What is the perfect? This is the perfect stage of a sannyasa. One would take the renounced order. One who is in the vairagya, detached from everything. When he reach that platform, he will think like whatever the activities he will do, everything is for Krishna's pleasure only, not for anything for himself. And that's why, in a sannyasi, when he took a sannyasi order, he will always depends on others. He doesn't have anything for himself. No house, no car, no bank balance or anything like that. That's a real life of a sannyasi. So those people who reach this Brahma Buddha platform, they have to think like this. So, and here they mention, result of our work must be enjoyed by the Supreme Lord. In the third chapter, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna mentioned a sloka, Yagnartat karmanoyam, lokoyam karma bandhana, tadartam karma kaunteya, mukasanga samachara. That's what Krishna says in third chapter. What Krishna is saying here, work done as a sacrifice to your Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondage in this material world. So whatever the work that we are doing, here Krishna is saying in the third chapter that we have to offer it to Krishna. That's called a karma yoga. Already Krishna mentioned that in the karma yoga. What is the karma yoga we are doing here? Whatever the work that we are doing, the food that we are eating, we're offering to Krishna and we're honoring his prasadam. And whatever the money that we are earning in our livelihood, we are using some part of it to Krishna's service, then we are enjoying from that one. Not everything for our own purpose. When we do that, the work, whatever the work we are doing it as an whatever we are earning, whatever we are doing, we have to offer it as a sacrifice to Lord Vishnu. Whenever we do that, then our work will be freed from any reaction. Well, we say for every action there is a equal and opposite reaction. That's what we'll say. Similarly, in Krishna conscious also, whatever the work we are doing it, we have to offer as a service to Lord Krishna. Then only we will not get any reaction from that work, whatever we are doing. So that's what it says. Results of the work must be enjoyed by the Supreme Lord alone, not anyone else. Because nothing is ours here. We didn't get anything here. When we born here, we just come with empty hands. We have to go with empty hands. The light, the sunlight that we are taking, given by Krishna, the rains we are getting, given by Krishna, Krishna's energy is Lord Indra. And everything in this world, if you take, everything is given by Krishna. Nothing we are manufacturing here. So-called scientists, they say, no, we can manufacture, we can do anything, but everything they have to mix all the five elements. When they mix it, then they come up with something else. But who gave that one? That's Krishna himself. That's the reason Krishna is mentioning is all the work, whatever you're doing, offer it to Krishna as a sacrifice. Then you will not be bind in this world. Otherwise, you will be bound in this world. So the person acting in Krishna consciousness is really a sannyasi. So in yesterday, Patit Pawan was mentioning is Bhagavad Gita last second chapter 54 to 72. All the shlokas which is mentioning about who is Chita Pragna. That's anyone remember who is Chita Pragna from yesterday's class? Whom you call Chita Pragna? Yes.
A man who's always calm. That's what I mean.
Sanjay?
Someone who's satisfied with himself.
Exactly. Sita Pragna means he doesn't want anything else for himself. He is satisfied completely himself. Like if you take a glass of water, if it is completely full, how much water you fill it in, it will just come out. If nothing goes inside. Similarly, the Sita Pragna is also in the stage. Arjuna is asking that question: who is the Sita Pragna? Because Arjuna is having trouble controlling his mind. He's complaining about, my mind is so strong like a wind, I cannot able to control, and everything is saying. Then Krishna is explaining to Arjuna who is Sita Pragna, how can he do it, how can he walk, how can he sit, how can he do work and everything, right? So we can take perfect example of Srila Prabhupada. Whatever he did for Krishna only. So when he don't have money, he is completely satisfied in Vrindavan and in Radha Damodar temple. When he come to US and establish the movement, he established 108 temples. He has so many disciples. He traveled in luxurious cars, but still Prabhupada is in the same mode. He doesn't impact of anything with, when he don't have anything else, when he got everything, but still he is in the same mode. That's the person he's got Sita Pragna. That's a self-realized person. So that's what we're calling as Brahma Bhuta stage. One who reached the stage, he doesn't need anything for himself, everything for Krishna himself, Krishna only. That's what the shloka is talking about here. And we have one more beautiful example in Srimad Bhagavatam, Avanti Brahman. I don't know, some of you might have heard the Avanti Brahman. He was like very miser. So he has so much money, but he doesn't spend even a one penny to himself and the family as well. He has so many servants, a wife, and every family members are there, but he doesn't want to spend anything for himself and any for others. And after one time, after some time, everybody left him. He's alone. But Krishna showed mercy. Like Krishna shows mercy not only by giving, by taking also. Krishna shows mercy for us. Similarly, we see Prabhupada example also. Prabhupada has so many businesses and everything, and Prabhupada was so happy with it. Now Krishna make me humble by taking everything from me. That's what happened in Avanti Brahman case as well. He lost everything, and earlier give any charity to anybody. But when he don't have anything else, he went to try to beg for somebody, and people are like, they hated him like anything. Nobody given even a morsel of the food for him. Then he understand, oh, this is what the actual, the means he can understand when he has so many things, he doesn't give anything to anybody else. Now he doesn't have anything else, people are rejecting him because he didn't give any charity for anybody else. So then after this, he sang a song Bhagavad-gita, which is very very famous. And at the end, Krishna mentioned here, Prabhupada is mentioning about third chapter of 17th verses. Yastva atmaratir evasyat. One who takes pleasure in the self, whose human life is one of self-realization, and who is satisfied in the self only, fully satisfied, for him there is no duty. So they're saying one is in this stage, he doesn't do anything, any duty in this world. You don't need to earn anything, and you need to work for anything else, because Krishna is supplying everything for him. Even because he has that complete faith on Krishna, that Krishna will take care of me. I don't want to worry about anything else. That's why, like, he was completely satisfied himself. So that's what the sloka is talking about. What is the perfect? What is the real renunciation? The sloka is talking about what is the real renunciation. Real renunciation means nothing for me, everything for Krishna. Whatever I do it for Krishna satisfaction only. That's what the sloka is talking about. Then we'll move on to the next sloka, 18.50. Siddhim prapto yata brahma
सिद्धिं प्राप्तो यथा ब्रह्मा
तदाप्नोति निबोध मे
तदाप्नोति निबोध मे
समासेनैव कौन्तेय निष्ठज्ञानस्य या परा.
ज्ञानस्य परा.
Mataji, you want to read translation?
Translation: O son of Kunti, learn from me how one who has achieved this perfection can attain to the supreme perfection stage, Brahman, the stage of highest knowledge, by acting in the way I shall now summarize.
Read the purport.
Purport: The Lord describes for Arjuna how one can achieve the highest perfectional stage simply by being engaged in his occupational duty, performing that duty for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One attains the supreme stage of Brahman simply by renouncing the result of his work for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord. That is the process of self realization. The actual perfection of knowledge is in attaining pure Krishna consciousness, that is described in the following verses.
Yes, now Krishna is explaining to Arjuna, how can you attain the Brahman stage? Arjuna wants to know that Brahman stage. Krishna said, this is the person who is in the Brahman stage. Now, how can you attain that stage? Now, Krishna is going to explain in the further verses. So, basically, he's saying, like, we have to engage in our own occupational duty. Don't give up anything else. That's what the Karma Yoga is about. Do your duties, but detach from the work. Don't be attached to the work. Whatever the activities you are getting it, just offer it a sacrifice to Krishna, right? That's what engagement in the one's occupational duty, then renouncing the results of the satisfaction of the Lord. Not for our thing, we have to renounce it because I don't like something, some food. Okay, I'll renounce it. Okay, that's not the stage we are talking about here. Renouncing results for the Krishna is satisfied or not. If I'm renouncing something means is Krishna is satisfied with my work or not. That's what we need to think about here. Once we renounce all the results for the satisfaction of the Krishna himself, then we attain the Brahman stage. That's what Krishna is talking next. So we have to think like Krishna is Sachidananda, I am the Sachidananda. We have the same qualities, but the quantity wise, we don't have that much quantity here. But we have to think always like Krishna is the master, I am the servant. That is the mood here. We both are Sachidananda, but we are not in the same platform right now. So as the ocean, so much of water is in the ocean, a drop of ocean also has a same quality as a whole ocean itself. Similarly, we also have the all qualities as Krishna himself, but not complete in the full. That's why Krishna is all attractive, but we are not all attractive. We don't have all six opulences in us. So we have to think like Krishna is the master and we are the servant. That's what now Krishna is explaining. What is the Brahman platform and how to know who is Brahman in the platform itself. Yes, we'll move on to the next sloka. It's a little longer sloka. Buddhya vasudaya yukto. Sorry. Buddhya vishuddhaya yukto. Dhrutayatmanam niyamya cha. शब्दादीन् विषयांश त्यक्त्वा रागद्वेषो व्युदस्य च विविक्तसेगि लद्वासि यत वाक्काय मानसा ध्यानयोगपरो नित्यम् वैराग्यं समुपाश्रिता अहंकारं बलं दर्पं कामं क्रोधं परिग्रहं विमुच्य निर्मनः संतो ब्रह्मभूयाय कल्पते.
Being purified by his intelligence and controlling the mind with determination, giving up the objects of sense gratification, being freed from attachment and hatred, one who lives in a secluded place, who eats little, who controls his body, mind, power, speech, who is always in trance and who is detached, free from false ego, false strength, false pride, lust, anger, and acceptance of material things, free from false proprietorship, peaceful, such a Christian is certainly elevated to the position of self-realization. Purport. When one is purified by intelligence, he keeps himself in the mode of goodness. Thus one becomes the controller of the mind and is always in trance. He is not attached to the objects of such gratification, and he is free from attachment and hatred in his activities. Such a detached person naturally prefers to live in a secluded place. He does not eat more than what he requires and controls the activities of the body and mind. He has no false ego because he does not accept the body as himself, nor has he a desire to make the body fat and strong by accepting so many material things. Because he has no bodily concept of life, he is not falsely proud. He is satisfied with everything that is offered to him by the grace of the Lord, and he is never angry in the absence of sense gratification, nor does he endeavor to acquire some object. Thus, when he is completely free from false ego, he becomes non-attached to all material things, and that is the stage of self-realization of Brahman. That stage is called the Brahma-Bhuta stage. When one is free from the material consumption of life, he becomes peaceful and cannot be agitated. This is described in Bhagavad-gita 2:70. A person who is not disturbed by the incessant flow of desires that center like rivers into the ocean, which is ever being filled but is always still, one can alone achieve peace, and not the man who strives to satisfy such desires.
There's a long list here to self-realize, right? We may think like, oh, is it really possible for me to attain the stage? Yes, Krishna is mentioning so many qualities here. Yes, we're already doing it. Some of them already doing it, but when you start progressing in this bhakti path, definitely we'll definitely achieve that one. So Krishna is saying here, being purified by intelligence and controlling the mind with determination. So we have to purify by intelligence means whatever the thoughts, whatever the things that we are doing it, we have to use our intelligence, not the mind. We have the body, mind, and intelligence. So we have to use our intelligence to the activities. Then what will happen? That one, whatever we are doing, we have to do with the determination. That will get the success here. Will not like think like am I really going to success in this life in this Krishna conscious or not? Not like that. Krishna is saying us to have determination. You are going to achieve it definitely. That's what Krishna's words is talking here. And giving up the objects of sense gratification. We are already doing it. So many things we have given up for Krishna himself. Krishna said, eat only patram pushpam phalam toyam. Only four things Krishna said, not anything else. That's what we are already following in our life. Means we are already there in the Brahma stage, not completely, but we are already in the process basically. And giving up objects of sense gratification, being freed from attachment and hatred. Yeah. And one who lives in a secluded place, this is for the yogis, but we don't need to live in a secluded place. We have community of devotees here. We have programs, we have nice kirtans and radayatras, so many programs, and nice prasadam as well is there. So we don't need to go in secluded place, detached from everything, controlling all our senses, focus on the breathing. Krishna didn't say that. Just stay with the devotee community and do the bhakti. That's what Krishna is saying here. And also, who eats little, who controls his body. Who eats little, that is a little bit tough. When you see prasadam, we cannot able to control, but in it's Krishna prasad, that's okay. We can do it. And who controls his body, mind, and power of speech. And yeah, these are the main things which we need to always focus on. body, mind, and speech. And in Bhagavad Gita, we have a slokam. Anudvega karam vakyam satyam priyam hitam chayat swadhyaya vyasanam chaiva tanmayam tapa uchyate. Anudvega karam vakyam means anything which is coming out of the speech, the words which is coming, we need to control them. Anudvega, it has to be pleasing for others. The speech that we are talking, it has to be pleasing for others. Anudvega karam vakyam satyam priyam hitam chaya. Satyam means truthfulness. Priyam means it has to be useful, beneficial for us, pleasing for others. Hitam chaya, it has to be beneficial for others. Our speech has to be like this, these qualities. And what it is, Krishna? The speech has to be considered of the whatever is mentioned in the Vangmayam, in the Vedas. Like, we need to speak those words only, not anything else. If you do these kind of speech, if you talk to somebody, if you are in this way, then that speech is perfect. That's what Krishna is saying. Anudvega karam vakyam. You need to control your speech, not to hesitate, not to blaspheme others, not to scold something else, right? As a devotees, when you are practicing, you have to, by seeing the way you talk, the others will attract to us. Yesterday, program was in the vegan one. A couple of American people, they came, they're asking, like, they're vegans, but when I'm trying to explain through about the soul and the body and everything, they're very much impressed, because the Prabhupada clearly mentioned in the with the nice pictures and everything, they can clearly understand with the illustrations. Okay, oh, if I do this, this is what going to happen, right? So they're very much impressed. That's what, like, as a devotees, Prabhupada give us the opportunity to spread this Krishna consciousness to everybody. So we need to use a speech to talk to others about Krishna consciousness, activities that we are doing it. That way, like, they'll understand, okay, oh, these people also, like, there are many of them, they connected to us because we're also doing the same sattvic life, vegan life, right? That's what they're connected to us. They are very much impressed about the preaching program that we are doing it here. So that's what, like, the speech, very, very important. As we say, if somebody hit us, that's okay. The scare will go away. But somebody scold us, that scare permanently stays on our heart. It will not go easily. So the speech is very, very important. Uh, that's what it is saying. Who is always in trance and who is detached, free from false ego, false strength, pride, lust, anger, and acceptance of material things, free from false proprietorship, and peaceful. Such a person is certainly elevated to the position of self realization. And Prabhupada gave a nice example here at the end of this sloka. A person who is not disturbed by the incessant flow of desires, the, that enter like rivers into the ocean, which is ever being filled, but it is always full, right? So many rivers, we can see, like, there are floods here, there are thunderstorms here and everywhere. The entire city was destroyed and everything. But we never see the ocean, it is completely came out of these shores and it destroyed the city. We never saw that. Like, means ocean is taking all the rivers into that, but it is always still. So as a devotee, we also have to be like that. There are so many desires there in the outside world, but we should not tempted, agitated by those desires. Okay, I like this, so okay, immediately take it. No, it's not like that. Is it beneficial for me or not? How can it help me, my Krishna consciousness? Okay, that's what we need to think about it. Like a clearly saying, and not the man who strive to satisfy such desires. So those who are satisfying such desires, they cannot able to achieve this Brahmabhuta platform. We need to control our desires. Then if you do that, then definitely we can achieve the Brahmabhuta platform. It's not difficult, it's just a practice. Like we are practicing for so many years. Now we came to one platform. Then if you keep practicing, we'll attain the Brahmabhuta platform in one of the lifetimes. Maybe we don't know which lifetime. Yes. Next two slokas, they are very, very important slokas. Yes. Yeah. Brahmabhuta prasannatma न सोचति न कांक्षति समः सर्वेषु भूतेषु मद्भक्तिं लभते पराम्. Prabhu, anybody wants to read?
One who is thus transcendently situated at once realizes the supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed toward every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unhindered. Purport. To the impersonalist, achieving the Brahma Bhuta stage, becoming one with the absolute, is the last grade. But for the personalist or pure devotee, one has to go still further to become engaged in pure devotional service. This means that one who is engaged in pure devotional service to the Supreme Lord is already in a state of liberation, called Brahma Bhuta, oneness with the Absolute. Without being one with the Supreme, the Absolute, one cannot render service unto him. In the absolute condition, there is no difference between the served and the servitor, yet the distinction is there in a higher spiritual sense. In the material concept of life, when one works for sense gratification, there is misery. But in the absolute world, when one is engaged in pure devotional service, there is no misery. The devotee in Krishna consciousness has nothing for which to lament or desire. Since God is full, a living entity who is engaged in God's service in Krishna consciousness becomes also full in himself. He is just like a river cleansed of all dirty water. Because a pure devotee has no thought other than Krishna, he is naturally always joyful. He does not lament for any material loss or aspire for gain, because he is full in the service of the Lord. He has no desire for material enjoyment, because he knows that every living entity is a fragmental part and parcel of the Supreme Lord and therefore eternally a servant. He does not see in the material world someone is higher and someone is lower. Higher and lower positions are ephemeral, and a devotee has nothing to do with ephemeral appearances or disappearances. For him, stone and gold are of equal value. This is the Brahma Bhuta stage, and this stage is achieved very easily by the pure devotee. In that state of existence, the idea of becoming one with the Supreme Brahman and annihilating one's individuality becomes hellish. The idea of attaining the heavenly kingdom becomes a phantasmagoria, and the senses are like a serpent whose poisoned teeth are broken. As there is no fear of serpent with broken teeth, there is no fear for the senses when they are automatically controlled. The world is miserable for the materially infected person, but for a devotee, the entire world is as good as Vaikuntha, or the spiritual sky. The highest personality in this material universe is no more significant than an ant for a devotee. Such a stage can be achieved by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, who preached pure devotional service in this stage.
Hare Krishna. It's a wonderful purport Prabhupada given here. What is it saying here? Brahma Bhuta stage. Now, Krishna talked about how can you achieve the Brahman in the previous sloka with all the list of the qualities that we need to develop and everything. In this shloka, Krishna is explaining how can you go from Brahma Bhuta stage to the Bhakti platform, the next platform that's all we are all anchoring for. So Brahman realization to the Bhagavan realization. That's what we need to do it right now. So we don't need to maybe we don't need to meditate like yogis and everything, but by practicing this devotional practice, we already reached the Brahman platform. Now we are already practicing. We are already in the Bhakti platform right now. So how can we further realize the Krishna here? Here it says, being one with the absolute, fully joyful. We have to and nasochati na kankshati. This is the main, very, very important here. Never laments, never desires. That's what, right? The entire world is going after these two things only. If somebody dies, they laments. And somebody they don't have something else, they desire something, right? Na sochati, na kankshati. Sama sarveshu bhuteshu. And it says, equally disposed to all living entities. And we have a beautiful shloka in Bhagavad-gita. Vidya Vinaya Sampanna Brahmane Gavayastini Sunichaiva Sofakecha Pandita Samadarshinaha. So one who reached the Brahman platform, one who is in the Bhakti platform, what you will see everybody equally, like in a dog eater, elephant, or a Brahman, or anybody, because everyone, what is there within us? We have soul in within everybody, and there is a super soul in everyone's heart is there, and super soul is same in everyone's heart. Super soul is in my heart and your heart. It's not different. It's the same. It's a Vishnu will be staying in all the hearts. So the devotee who reach that platform, then he will realize, okay, this is not a dog, this is dog eater, or like elephant, or a cow, or like a brahmana. You never think like that, because we are in this human body. We are thinking that, okay, I am a human being, I have to behave in certain way. If I will take next birth, if I take a birth of a dog or something else, I will relate myself with that body itself. That time I'll do a lot of different activities. Now I may hate one dog or a pig, something. If it is eating stool on the streets and everything, I may hate the pig right now. But if I take a birth in the next life as a pig, I have to do the same thing, right? So that's why, like, once who reach the Brahma Buddha platform, they will think, oh, they're all same, equal here. Nobody is different here. So we have to think like that. Nobody is different here. That's what it says. Sama sarveshu bhuteshu. That means equally disposed to all living entities, right? That's what it says. And what happens then? Madbhaktim labate param. That's what happens here. It says, gains my devotional service in the transcendental states. So if you want to get the devotional service, we have to do these things. Na sochati, na kankshati. Never laments, never desires. See everybody equally and being one with the absolute personality of the Lord. If you do that, then what it says, you gains my devotional service, and that is the transcendental platform here. Yes. So the main thing that we need to talk about in this shloka is like, the main two things. Brahmatbhuta stage means someone who is completely understanding they are spiritual beings, right? The two, what are the very first qualifications somebody should have? They should not lament for anybody. Whatever happened in the past, we should not lament about it. And Swayam Bhagavan Keshav Swami Maharaj he says, we are the prisoners of the past. No, we moved out of the past, but we're still thinking about the past life only. Oh, something somebody did for me in the previous, man, when I'm 20 years age, they did something for me. We still think about the same thing, but we cannot do anything about it. Right? So we are the prisoners of the past. So what we need to do, we have to do. There's no lamentation over the past. We have no anchoring for the future. We live in the present moment right now. We don't know what will happen in the next day. Today, when I'm sleeping at the night, we'll thank Krishna. Krishna, thank you so much for giving this day. No, I don't know what will happen in the morning. When I wake up from the bed or not, I don't know. Because Krishna is doing everything, right? Because I don't know anything else. If you decide so, Krishna, please give me one more day so that I can do some more service for Krishna. I can try to connect more devotees to you this path, right? That's what we can do for it. Don't think about the past and future. Don't think about it. Should not lament. We should not desire for anything in the future, right? So therefore, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na sochati na kankshati. So these are the two business which is going on in this world. What is this? One is the sochati, one is the kankshati. Kankshati means desiring. While the body is moving, we are desiring, we are making a plans. I want this. My son requires this. My nation requires this one. My community requires this one. Right? That's what we are thinking. We are actually we wanting it. We are desiring it. Okay. I want a bigger apartment. I want a bigger house. I want a big Tesla car. So many things we are desiring it. But really needed for me or not, we don't know. Whether sometimes like if you have more luxuries, maybe you'll get distracted from bhakti path itself. When you have less, you'll enjoy more. That's why Prabhupada always says in the previous when Prabhupada came from India, I used to say those days are golden days because I don't need to worry about anything else. Whenever I have it or I don't have it, I'm very much satisfied now. Now, yes, other day I'm hearing YouTube short and Prabhupada was here. They put a telephone and Prabhupada was like saying, they're calling in the midnight. They're waking up in the midnight. They're disturbing me with this phone, this telephone. They're thinking it's useful, but it is disturbing me. It's not useful for me, right? So these are the things we are increasing our material desires and more luxurious things we are getting it. But are they really conducive for our bhakti or not? That's what we need to think. So if you are desiring more, you have to think how can these desires will be useful in Krishna consciousness? If I am not using the Krishna consciousness, how much ever I need, it's not going to help me. Like the famous example of, you may have a beautiful cage and there's a parrot inside. The lady, she's always painting the cage, but she's not feeding anything inside the cage, the parrot. After what happened after some time, the parrot is going to die. How much beautiful the cage is. Similarly, we have a soul inside our body, and if you don't feed the soul inside the body, but we are only materially progressing and we are making our life so much comfortable, but we are not thinking about the soul within our body. The same thing happened to us as well. The body may die after some time, but the soul, the poor soul, it doesn't know anything. It has to take one more body. In the next life, I don't know whether it will get a opportunity to get Krishna conscious or not, meet devotee like Prabhupada or not. We don't know that. So that's the reason, when we are in this world, when we are desiring something, we have to make sure, that is Krishna conscious desire or not. How can I use it for the Krishna service or not, right? That's what better, because we see so many devotees, they have so many talents, somebody play piano, guitar, and everything. They gave up everything and now they are playing for the Krishna Kirtans and everything now. When you go to Sadhu Sangha, we can see so many devotees, they are coming here. There are so many talents. Everything they are using for the Krishna service now. There are many devotees are benefiting it. That's what the desires will be. How can I please Krishna with my music? How can I please with my talents? Right? That's what we have to do. So when we are desiring something, not for the material desires, we need to do it. So that's why it says, Kankshati means desiring. What are you desiring for yourself? That's what we do. Second thing is, Nasochati. Nasochati means don't think about the past. My father is lost, my brother is lost, my son is lost, I lost my business and everything. Maybe that's good for us because Krishna wants us to be loose in this situation. Maybe that will help us in progressing in the bhakti, right? So yes, if you get something in our life, we are any problems in our life, you ought to think like, okay, maybe Krishna is showing me through this way. I want to purify myself. We all see like how Jay Padmaksha Maharaj is now suffering from so many. We are thinking it's a suffering for us, but Maharaj is like very joyful. Wherever he goes, he will give Krishna consciousness. Even in the hospital bed, the nurses who come to him and treat him, he will give them the chanting bag and ask them to chant. But Maharaj was like very happy preaching Krishna consciousness here. He is not lamenting for anything. Oh, I'm in this like this in the bed. I cannot preach like other sannyasis and everything. Maharaj is not thinking like that. Maharaj is giving Krishna consciousness wherever he goes. That's why we don't need to worry about anything else here. Yes, and next thing is here. Maharaj gave Swayam Bhagavan and Krishna Maharaj gave three things that we need to think about in our life. Look up, look within, and look forward. These are the three examples Maharaj gave to implement in our life. What is look up means? What look up means? Looking at Krishna, looking at the God. Why? Because we have to think that we have to understand Krishna is our best friend and he is giving me everything. And if something happened for me, then okay, it's that's the one who is actually doing all of these things in my life. We need to look up Krishna and we have to thank for Krishna. Whether it is a good thing or bad thing, doesn't matter. We have to look up Krishna and we have to go forward in the life. Don't think about the past and lament about why I'm doing this, why I'm getting these sufferings and everything. We don't need to do that. That's another. Look up and thank Krishna for that. Second thing is look within and look within ourselves. Where you are doesn't determine where you are. The soul always has free will and is empowered to design its destiny, right? So look within means what? We have a soul within our body, right? So what is the soul wants? Soul wants happiness, right? We says we are Sachidananda. We are always blissful, eternal, and full knowledgeable. So that's what soul is hankering for it. That's why like when we are chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, we'll feel so much happiness inside. But we may get so many things, but we may not feel happy so that time. But when we are chanting Krishna's names, we are feeling happy. Who is feeling that happiness? The soul within the body. He is the one who is feeling the happiness, right? So look within and find out what soul wants and give that wants to. Because if a son wants something, what we are doing, we're just giving it to them. Then what will happen? We will be satisfied. We will not cry or anything like that, right? Similarly, soul wants this happiness and want to be again merged with that Krishna, means go back to Lord Krishna's world. So what we need to give, so look within and give what soul wants. Then last one is look forward and look around. Recognize the opportunities that Krishna is present to us. Look forward. So Krishna is okay. All the devotees, they are trying so much here to develop a center here now, right? So they have the futuristic idea. They want to open a center and everything. They are going out and preaching they are doing the preaching programs. So many ways they are trying it. What is the thing Krishna wants me to do for the future? I am benefiting from this Krishna consciousness. How can I benefit others? Okay, this is not something like I only keep it for myself, right? Not like a miserly. We see the example of Avanti Brahman earlier, right? Everything he kept it for himself. At the end of the day, what happens? He lost everything. But when people are started giving to others, as they say, when you take, you don't feel that much happiness, but when you give, you feel so much of happiness. Why? Because the soul is feeling that happiness, right? So look, recognize the opportunities that Krishna is presenting us, and offer the. That's what they says. When one door closes, another door opens, right? So we don't think like, okay, why Krishna is doing like that? Maybe Krishna wants to do something else for you. Okay, that's the reason that's what you have to think like. Look forward, look around, and what is the future for me? What Krishna wants me to do in the future. We see so many devotees in the Krishna consciousness. They sacrifice their lives, Whatever Prabhupada said, they went and they did it. Even nobody is there in that country, they simply just fly there and they establish the centers, they connected so many devotees. Why? Because they have the complete trust on Srila Prabhupada's words, right? So they never asked the question to Prabhupada, why Prabhupada, I don't have anybody else, how can I start a center there? They didn't do that, They think, okay, maybe through Krishna, through Prabhupada is giving instruction for me, right? So how can I do this one, right? That's what we need to think here. And look ahead and embrace the new possibilities and beautiful things awaiting us. That's what we need. Look ahead all the time. Don't think about the past, just leave about the past. We cannot go back and we cannot do anything from the past. So whatever the Krishna wants to do it, that is look up, look within, and look forward and look around. If you do that, then definitely we'll go ahead. What you will do? Brahma Bhuta stage to Bhakti, Bhagavan realization state. For that, what you need to do? Na sochati, na kankshati. Those two things. No desiring, no lamentation of anything else. If you do that, take everything as a Krishna's mercy. Just continue your devotional service. Doesn't matter whether you complete in this lifetime or next lifetime. Doesn't matter. Krishna says clearly that if you complete 10% Krishna conscious in this life, I'll give one more opportunity to continue from 11%, not from 0%. One time, His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj is mentioning it. If somebody may be a scholar, somebody may be a big scientist, somebody may be a great philosopher, anything like that. They may be anything. They can have so many master degrees or anything like that. But when they take next life, again they have to start from ABCs. There's nothing permanent in this world. How much scholar you may be, but they lost everything. They lost everything. They have to start from zero. But devotees like us, we don't have that problem. Krishna says clearly, if you do 10%, I'll start from 11th%. So that's the reason, we have to have that trust on Krishna words, and then we have to move on our next journey of next life. That's what about the Brahma Bhuta stage to Bhagavan realization. And the next sloka, which is talking about by bhakti, one can know Krishna and attain. How can we attain the Krishna's abode? Now Krishna is mentioning about all these things, right? You come to Brahma Bhuta stage, then don't desire for anything, don't lament for anything, just give up everything. Just how can you serve me? That's what Krishna is saying. But how can we attain that Krishna's abode? That's what Krishna is mentioning in the next shloka, 18.55. This is also very, very important shloka, 54 and 55. Bhaktya mama vijanati yavaneschasmi tatvatah tato mam tatvato gnatva vishate tad anantaram. Jai Prabhu.
One you can understand me as I am, as a supreme personality of Godhead, only by the devotional service, and when one is in fully consciousness of me, by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God. Purpose. The supreme personality of Godhead, Krishna, and his dignitary portions cannot be understood by mental speculation nor by the non-devotees. If anyone wants to understand the supreme personality of Godhead, he has to take to pure devotional service under the guidance of pure devotees. Otherwise, the truth of the supreme personality of Godhead will always be hidden. As already stated in the Bhagavad-gita 7.25,
Naham Prakasha Sarvasya.
He is not revealed to everyone. No one can understand God simply by erudite scholarship or mental speculation. Only one who is actually engaged in Krishna consciousness and devotional service can understand what Krishna is. University degrees are not helpful. One who is fully conversant with the Krishna science becomes eligible to enter into the spiritual kingdom, the abode of Krishna. Becoming Brahma does not mean that one loses his identity. Devotional service is there, and as long as the devotional service exists, there must be God and the devotee and the process of devotional service. Such knowledgeable is never vanquished, even after liberation. Liberation involves getting free from the concept of material life. In spiritual life, the same distinction is there and the same individuality is there. But in pure Krishna consciousness, one should not mistakenly think that the word enters into me. Supports the monist theory that one one can enter into the abode of Supreme Lord in one's individuality. To engage in this association and render service on person. For instance, a green bird enters a green tree not to become one with the tree, but to enjoy the fruits of the tree. Impersonalities generally give the example of a river flowing into the ocean and merging. This may be a source of happiness for the impersonalities, but the personalities keep its personal individuality like an aquatic in the ocean. So we find that so many living entities within the ocean. If we go deep, surface acquaintance with the ocean is not sufficient. One must have complete knowledge of the aquatic living in the ocean depth. Because of his pure devotional service, a devotee can understand the transcendental qualities and the appearances of the Supreme Lord in the truth. As stand. As it stated in the 11th chapter, only by the devotional service can one understand. The same is confirmed here. One can understand the supreme personality of Godhead by devotional service and enter into his kingdom. After attainment of the Brahma stage of freedom from material conceptions, devotional service begins by once hearing about the Lord. When one hears about the Supreme Lord, automatically the Brahma stage develops and material contamination, greediness, and the lust for sensuous enjoyment disappears. As lust and the desire disappear from the heart of a devotee, he becomes more attached to the service of the Lord, and by such attachment, he becomes free from material contamination. In that state of life, he can understand the Supreme Lord. This is a statement of Srimad Bhagavatam also. After liberation, the process of bhakti or the transcendental services continues. The Vedanta Sutra confirms that this means that after the liberation, the process of devotional service continues. In the Bhagavatam, real devotional liberation is defined as a reinstatement of living entity in his own identity, his own constitutional position. The constitutional position is already explained. Every living entity is a part and parcel, fragmental portion of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, his constitutional position is to serve. After liberation, the service is never stopped. Actual liberation is getting free from misconceptions of life.
Yes, thank you. Yes. So, how can you attain Krishna? It's a very, very important shloka. You're saying, what is it? Bhaktyamam abhijanati. Nothing else. Only by pure devotional service, Krishna is saying, you can understand me as I am. Nothing else. So, that's very, very clearly mentioned here. One can understand me as I am, Supreme Personality of Godhead, only by devotional service. There are so many philosophers, so many scientists, anything, and so many people are there, but that is not going to help them. They can go to an higher planets. They have 7 planets, upper planets, 7 lower planets are there. If somebody is like by philosophical speculation, if they try to understand, they can read they can just get so many degrees and they can read everything. Maybe they can, if they do pious activities, they can go to the upper planets, but not to the Krishna Loka. Again, they have to come to this Matsya Loka. Again, they have to do the perform devotional service. Again, they have to go back to Godhead. Not only for the common people here, even the demigods also. They also want to, if their lifetime is over, if they do any mistakes, they also have to come here. So they are desiring, like, I wish I could born as a insect in Vrindavan. At least I can do some devotional service and I can go back to Krishna Loka. Because there are so many facilities there in Brahma Loka, Indra Loka, right? They have like, there's nothing, there's no sweat or nothing like that. There's nothing, everything is provided for them. But that's what they are anchoring, They want to come back here, perform devotional service to Krishna, and they want to go back to Godhead. That's what they're anchoring for. So think about as, we got a treasure now, This treasure is nobody knows about this treasure. Only few people knows about it. Krishna also orchestrate, you don't want to give it to everybody. Those who are like, having the mercy of the Guru and Krishna, they will get this opportunity to become Krishna consciousness. Because we see so many people outside in the world, right? But we only, of course, 20 members here. We are only talking about Krishna here, not anybody else. Because we are fortunate. We are already doing devotional service now. We all want to understand Krishna here. So Krishna is saying, now, as I said in the earlier shlokas, do all those things, then you will come to the pure devotional stage. And when one is in full conscious of me by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God. That's the qualification we need to have. If you have this one, then that is the qualification, right? So if I want to come to America, they will ask, do you have the visa stamping or not? Only we have visa stamping, they will allow me to the country. Otherwise, they will not let me come here. Right? If you want to come from one country to another country in this material world itself, we need to have qualification. Not anybody can come here, right? So only those who studied, the masters or something like that, they can come here. So think about Krishna Loka, where if you go there, where we need to have no pride, no anger, no lust, no greed, nothing else. So how much qualification that we need if you want to go there? Because when you go there, everything is happy. Everybody wants to serve Krishna there. We see all the friends of Krishna, they are serving Krishna. Gopis, they are serving Krishna. In the middle of the night, when Krishna's flute, blow the flute, everybody came, leaving everything from them. That much love that they have for Krishna there, right? So we need to develop that much of love for Krishna. Then we'll get the eligibility to enter into the Krishna's kingdom. So understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is not possible through the mental speculation or erudite scholarship alone. There's no degrees, no university degrees are not required. They will not even needed to enter into the kingdom of Lord Krishna here. That's why only what we need requiring engaging in the pure devotional service only. In 7.25 it says, Naham Prakasha Sarvasya Yogamaya Samavritah Mudoyam Abhijanati Lokamam Ajamavyayam. What this sloka is saying, it reveals Krishna is not revealed to everyone. Only those who are engaged in Krishna conscious and devotional service can comprehend him. Krishna is not for everybody. Only doing Krishna consciousness only, they will only can get Krishna, not by anybody else. That's why it says, Bhaktyamam Abhijanati. It's very, very rare thing, It's a rare jewel. We have an example of, Sanatana Goswami. One of the Goswamis, he has a very, very valuable jewel. And one merchant, he came to Sanatana Goswami. He heard that, Sanatana Goswami has a very valuable jewel. And why is he came to Sanatana Goswami asking, I heard you have a valuable jewel, where is it? And he said, no, maybe it's near the dustbin. Maybe I don't know where it is. Maybe it's near the dustbin. Go and check there. And that person went and he checked there. Oh, he found that valuable jewel. And he took the jewel and he went home and, he became a rich person and everything even. Then he thought, if it is this much valuable, why he is throwing it at the dustbin? Why he is not keeping it himself? Then he got another doubt. Again, he came back to Sanatana Goswami and asking if it is so much valuable, why are you keeping it in the dustbin? I want more valuable. I think you are more valuable than this one. You're not giving that to me. You're keeping yourself. You're not giving that more valuable thing to me. You're just giving simple jewel and everything. So you really want this one? Yes, I really want this one. Okay. What you can do is, you can throw this jewel in the Yamuna river. Then I'll give you the most valuable things. Then the person went and he just threw the jewel in the Yamuna river. Then he came back. Now give me. I throw the jewel and just give me what. Then he gave this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yes, this is the most valuable thing that Sanatana Goswami has it. Even if you want to go back and get the jewel, it's not going to possible. It was swept away with the river flowing water, right? You cannot go and get the jewel. So that's the most valuable thing in the world. Just giving freely, we are giving it to everybody. Only fortunate people can be able to take this one, not anybody else here. That's what it says. Krishna, only those who are engaged in Krishna consciousness, they can able to see the Krishna. Krishna is revealed to only those devotees only, not by anybody else. So there is a beautiful example. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Srirangam in South India, there is a Brahmana, illiterate Brahmana, is reading Bhagavad-gita. Is reading Bhagavad Gita and is crying. Is holding the book in his hands and is crying. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to him and says, "Oh Brahmana, what happened? Why are you crying? You're looking at the Bhagavad Gita book and you're crying. Why are you crying?" And that Brahmana says, "My Guru ordered me to read Bhagavad Gita." "Oh, really? Oh, I think you are following your Guru's instructions. So fortunate you are, you're perfectly following your Guru's instructions. But why are you crying? You are following Guru's instruction, you are reading Bhagavad Gita. Why are you crying still?" Then that Brahmana said, "I am illiterate Brahmana. I don't know anything how to read. But my Guru told me to read the Bhagavad Gita. By looking at here, Krishna as a menial servant is serving Arjuna here. By looking at this scene, the book cover itself, I am went into the lamentation, Krishna is so merciful. He is serving Arjuna as a menial servant here. Because of that, I'm getting tears. That's what the Brahmana said to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, yes, you are the perfect devotee. That's earlier what we see. We don't need the erudite education. We don't need the university degrees to understand Krishna. Here the Brahmana, he didn't study anything else. He is illiterate Brahmana. He doesn't know what to do. But as Guru's instruction, he took the Bhagavad-gita, he start looking at the Bhagavad-gita itself. By looking at Krishna's picture itself, he is feeling so much compassion for Krishna's towards Arjuna, right? That's what then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said. He has two things. One is the submissiveness to Guru's instructions, right? That's the main thing that Brahmana has it. Obedience of Guru, that means he is submissive to his Guru's instructions. Similarly, we see there are many sacrifices Srila Prabhupada disciples did it, right? Srila Prabhupada disciple, whatever he said, he just went and did it. Why? Because they submitted to their Guru. The Srila Prabhupada, they submitted to their Guru. That's the reason they went everywhere and they just distributed their books. And one time, Malati Mataji, when she's serving in Mayapur, every day she's serving nicely to Prabhupada with having the little baby in her lap, Saraswati. She's crossing the river on the boat, getting all the things for Prabhupada, and she's cooking every day nicely. But every day, somehow Prabhupada is saying, okay, there's salt in this curry, there's there's so much spice in this curry. Every day Prabhupada used to say like this. And every day she's working hard, but she's thinking, okay, maybe I'm not doing proper service to Prabhupada. That's the reason, Prabhupada finding faults in me. That's what she's thinking. And one day she thought, okay, today is my last day. Today I'll cook last meal for Prabhupada. Then after that, I'll relieve from this service. That's what she thought. And that day, one of the Srila Prabhupada god brother came to meet him in Mayapur in the hut. And then Malati Mataji, again, the same day, she's serving. She served Prabhupada, then she served the god brother and everybody. Then Prabhupada told his god brother, you see, girl, her name is Malati. Even if I chastise her, even if I say something to her, without saying anything, she is serving me. She has so much love for me. If I say to her to slit her throat, she will do for me. Same thing. Even I also do the same thing for her as well. I can slit the throat for her as well. That's what Prabhupada said. Means that much love Srila Prabhupada has and his disciples. The disciples also the same love as the Srila Prabhupada as well. That's the reason, they sacrificed everything. The submissiveness for the Guru, instruction. They said Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They just followed. They don't know what is Krishna consciousness. They don't know what is this Hinduism, the Hare Krishna mantra. They don't know nothing else. But as Srila Prabhupada said, this mantra will liberate you. This mantra will purify you. Then they listen to Guru's instructions. That's the first thing that we need to have in this Krishna conscious life. When Guru gives instructions, we need to have that submissiveness for Guru's instructions. Then second thing is the Brahman has the love for Krishna, right? So, and why? Because the Guru said, and he is reading the Bhagavad-gita, then he developed the love for Krishna. And earlier the example that we see, how the so many Brahmanas' wives, they came in the middle of the night, leaving everything for Krishna himself. They came. Why? Because they have so much love for Krishna. These are the two things important. So the education is not required. Even if you understand what Krishna is saying here, education is not required for us. The love that we need to develop on Krishna. How can I serve my Guru's instruction? How can I develop love for Krishna? That's what we need to know about here. And another example is when Kurukshetra war is over and Krishna, he wants to go back to Dwaraka. Now everything is over, he gave the kingdom to Pandavas and he just want to leave to Dwaraka. And while leaving the Pandavas and there we have Draupadi and everything, they want to cry but they don't want to cry. Because when somebody is leaving, if you cry, it is like an inauspiciousness. So they don't want to cry. They are holding their tears. They just don't want to cry. But Krishna is leaving. But Krishna is walking on the street of Sastinapura. That the ladies on the top, the building top, they're talking here. Look at this blue boy. He did so many pastimes. He fought for the Pandavas, and they're talking about. They're glorifying Krishna. They don't know much about the Vedas or Upanishads and Puranas or anything. But they out of their genuine love, they are worshipping Krishna. So that's what we need. We don't need education or anything like that. But if you develop that love towards Krishna, then we can achieve that kingdom of Lord Krishna. Bhaktyamam abhijanati. That's what we needed, right? So only that qualification we needed. You need to appreciate Krishna, like whatever the activities that he did. That's a very, very important shloka here. And then more, there were so many examples like in Bhagavatam. We have Dhruva Maharaj's story, we have Kunti Maharani's story. They went through so many problems in their life, but still, how many problems they may have in their life, they always trusted Krishna. Krishna never left them. Always they protected Pandavas and everybody here. So in this way, Kunti Maharani, Dhruva Maharaj story. These are all the very examples, so many examples we can see it here. So when we are in full Krishna conscious in devotion with Krishna, what will happen? You can enter the kingdom of the God, either Golok, Vrindavan or Dwaraka. Depends on the mood that we are worshipping, right? So if you are devotee of Lord Ram, you can enter the Lord's Vaikuntha Loka. If you are devotee of Narasimha Swami, you will enter the Narasimha Swami Vaikuntha Loka. If you are devotee of Krishna, you will go to the Krishna Loka himself, right? So it doesn't matter, they're all amshas of Lord Krishna himself. So whatever the God you are worshipping with a pure love. That's what we needed here. So when Lord came in Ramayana, Lord Ram came in Ramayana, not only humans worship Lord Ram. We see so many examples. The monkeys like Hanuman, Angada, there are Sugriva. They all worship Lord Ram, and Lord Ram reciprocated the same thing with all the monkeys himself. And we also see the vulture like Jatayu, and also there's a boatman like Guha. He crossed the river. Lord Ram loved Guha as well. And Vibhishan, even though he was born in the demon's family, he worshipped Lord Ram. So this way, it doesn't matter where we are, like whether we are Indian or American or whether in the male body or women body, black body, it doesn't matter wherever it is. Wherever we are, we can worship Lord Krishna with the same amount of love. Lord also reciprocates with the same love itself. So this is what it is. And there's one more example, beautiful example I want to say, and then I'll conclude. Yes, it's already very late. Sorry, Prabhu. Yes, and there's one more example. One time, Narada went to Lord Vishnu. Narada went to Lord Vishnu, and Narada visits everywhere, right? He went to Lord Vishnu and he was talking to him, and he's asking a question. There are two devotees in the this material world. Who do you think they will come first to my? Who will get first liberation? That's what Narada is asking a question to Lord Vishnu. One is a Brahmana, one is a potter. Potter is a poor person, right? So he's asking like, who will come to your loka first? And Lord Vishnu said, that poor potter, he will come to the my loka first, my abode first. Narada was surprised. Why are you saying that? Because the Brahmana is worshipping every day from the morning to evening, and he's doing so many rituals, and he's worshipping the temple very lavishly, and everything he's doing it. What do you think? Like, why Brahmana is not going to come? Okay, I'll just give an example. And when you go there, you can ask them when the devotee asks you like where you are coming from, tell them that I am coming from Vaikuntha Loka. And if they ask like what Lord Vishnu is doing in Vaikuntha Loka, tell them that he is sending a big elephant through a small needle hole. Just tell them that. For both the person, just tell them that Lord Vishnu is just passing the big elephant through a needle hole. That's what you tell them. Okay, Narada Muni agreed, and he just came here, and he went to the Brahmana. He went to the Brahmana, and Brahmana welcomed Narada Muni, and he asking like, oh, Narada Muni, where are you coming from? And he said, okay, I'm coming from Vaikuntha Loka. Oh, really? What Lord Vishnu doing? Then Narada Muni explains. Narada Muni explains that, Lord Vishnu with a small needle hole, he's just trying to put a big elephant through the needle hole. Brahmana was laughed. Narada Muni, what are you saying? How can that big elephant, how can it went to the small needle hole? Are you joking? Are you really came from Vaikuntha Loka, or you just want to joking, just jokingly telling me? Then Narada Muni understand, okay, he's doing so many rituals, but he didn't understand what the pure devotion means. Then Narada Muni went to the poor potter, and then Potter also asked the same question, where are you coming from? And Lord Vishnu, what he is doing in this abode? And Narada Muni explained the same thing. Lord Vishnu is trying to send he putting the elephants with a small needle full. That poor potter, he was kind of went into ecstasy, and he was dancing dancing ecstasy, and he was jumping up and down and everything. He was in so much happiness. Narada Muni was surprised, why are you dancing like this? Don't you feel surprised that, Lord Vishnu is sending this big elephant to a small needle hole? Don't you be surprised on this one? Then that person said, what is there in the surprise, Do you see this big banyan tree? It's in the small seed. With a small seed, Lord Vishnu can manifest this much banyan tree. Can you put that big elephant to a small needle hole? Then Narada Muni understand, oh, this is the pure devotion. Not about your scholarship or where you are born, how much money you have, doesn't matter, How much love you have on Lord Krishna, right? That's what needed for our devotion. We need to accept as it is. That's what Prabhupada gives this Bhagavad-gita as it is. He wants to accept whatever mentioned in this Bhagavad-gita. That's the love Krishna is wanting from us. Not anything, not our money or not our education or anything like that. Krishna doesn't want it. The devotion that Krishna is looking for us, right? This is what, if you do all of these things, right, then definitely what will happen? Janma karma chame divyam evam yo veti tattva tektva deham punarjanma naiti mameti. So Arjuna, what he said? Krishna's janma and karma, they're all divine. Janma karma chame divyam. What is the next one? Evam yo veti tattva tektva deham. Once you leave up his body, what will happen? You will not come back to this material world again. That's what Krishna is saying, Bhagavad Gita. And when you come to the Krishna Loka, what is there in the Krishna Loka? We need, if you want something, with this room is, if you want to lighten up, we need lights and everything. But Krishna Loka is nothing. We don't need anything else. Na tad bhashayate suryo, na shashanko na pavakaha, yadgatva na nivartante, taddama paramam bhavan. What is that Loka looks like? There is no sunlight, there is no moonlight, there is no electricity. Nothing will be there in that Loka. Everything by the Krishna's body's effulgence, everything is glowing here. That's what happens. So when we leave this world, when you go back to the Krishna Loka, that's where we go. Where we don't need this electricity, this cell phones, this laptops, nothing is needed for them. So who is that person? Why we want to go to that Krishna Loka? Brahma, what is mentioned here in the Brahma Samhita? Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Rupaha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. Whatever is happening in this world, who is doing it? Only Krishna is doing. He is the supreme controller. Nobody else in. That's where we want to go there. So the person who is controlling everything in this world, giving everything for us, that's where we want to go. How we can go with this? By reading the scriptures, by having devotees association, and by knowing about Krishna, by having this pure devotional service. Then we'll go to the Krishna Loka. Then we attain then we can have with Krishna. We can do all the pastimes, what he is doing in the scriptures, we can do with Krishna itself. Right? This is what it is. So for that, what we need to do? We need to take the shelter of the Lord's holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. If you do this chanting process, then we'll definitely go from Brahman realization to Bhagavan realization. These are some of the thoughts. So please forgive me if I talk anything over my capability. Please forgive me. I beg forgiveness from all the devotees. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.